Peace. Good afternoon or good evening. I'd like to welcome you back to another Foul Play Land. As always, I'm your foul player, and this is actually a New York Giant draft foul play land, if you will. I'm gonna do this. I haven't been on in a minute, so I got to mess around and tinker like for my mock draft because I'm gonna use the PFN mock draft simulator. But before I even do that, I'm gonna discuss a tactic that I have like for the New York Giants draft for 2022. What my preferred method of doing it would be to try to address what I see are the Giants' bigger needs, not just for this year, which I hope you guys expect that this year, 2022, for the New York Giants is going to be a wash. The Giants suck. Don't let these Giants YouTube channels tell you otherwise. The Giants have no hope this year. In fact, my only hope is for the Giants to do worse. That way they get more collateral next year. But if I were the GM of the Giants this year, this is what I would do. Now, before I even get to that, too, I want to say that the Giants GM this year, which I don't know his name, nor do I remember the coach's name off the rip. I've kind of like looked away from Giants football this year because I know they're going to suck. And it seems that they're going to start Daniel Jones, who also sucks. So what's the point? I mean, this year, I think that going off the fact that they couldn't really sign free agents, the Giants know that they're in dire straits as far as fiscally, as far as their cap number goes. This year, I mean, I think they had like $3 million in cap space. That's after doing some contract trickery or redoing contracts over on players that are already on the roster, and that's how they got that $3 million. What that $3 million is going to be used for? Probably nothing. I mean, like, you know, how good of a guy could you sign for $3 million? Or how good of a couple guys could you sign for $3 million? So the Giants right now are in salary cap hell. In my opinion, I think that the draft this year should be to replacing guys that you want to consider cutting next year that are in the way of you getting out of salary cap hell. Maybe you could, even though I don't think this applies, but I think Leonard Williams is a big candidate in my eyes because he's not that great and he's making a bloated salary. But any which way, and you could replace a player like a Williams or Leonard Williams and try to get his salary out of the way, hopefully, is a bonus. I think next year the Giants are actually in the clear salary cap wise. I'm gonna do a share screen now. I hope I remember how to do this, but some of the let's see, Chrome tab, just let me see. I'm just trying to do the whole window. This one, here we go. I think I got it, but so this is briefly like right now the Giants salary cap space, if you can see here, 3. No, I'm sorry. It's actually 1 million of cap space. But next year, I'm for 2023, we're gonna have like 98 million as per this list. I don't think Leonard Williams is even a candidate to be cut. So maybe if you draft somebody this year and maybe you could cut somebody like Leonard Williams come oh no, I think this might be his last year. But whatever have you. But you know, like to replace Bradbury or a Galladay or an Dory Jackson, you know, so my draft has that in mind, but also my draft has the tactic in mind that if one quarterback that I do like, which I'm not gonna say who yet, drops to me, then I'm gonna take that quarterback first. And that quarterback has dropped to me because if you guys could see, this thing's a pain in the ass to try to scroll to the bottom of this list. But I'm just gonna reject all these trades offers. I try to do my mock drafts without trades because the thing is that trading with PFN is kind of like child abuse. Like these dudes, the computer on this program, whatever the fuck you call it, on Pro Football Network mock draft, they don't know how to trade very well. So a lot of times, if you make trades versus the program or the computer, you could fleece them. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take whatever trades they offer me for other trades, but I'm not gonna try to like juice a trade very much if I don't have to. But one thing, since the quarterback that I do want, Malik Willis of Liberty, has dropped to me at number 5, I am gonna take Malik Willis at number 5 because right below me at number 6, the Panthers are a prime candidate at taking Malik Willis. Now, also at number 3, this plan may not work because I think that the Texans are going to be looking to trading for or looking at trading or drafting Malik Willis. I think the Lions are also a prime candidate at drafting Malik Willis. I honestly, if I have to say, guys, like I think that Malik Willis is going to go in one of these 2 picks. A lot of draft nicks don't have the board falling out that way, but I'll go with the draft nicks, and I'm gonna take Malik Willis here. Now, another thing too, Trayvon Walker at number 3, I can't see that, man. Like, come on, guys. Like, Georgia had like a million pass rushers, like and like Trayvon Walker shows out at the combine, and all of a sudden he goes top 3. The tape doesn't show that, man. Come on, stop playing games. Like Malik Willis at number 5 for the Giants. Daniel Jones is a bum. The Giants got to get in on the. It's not just getting in on the equity game here, like and drafting like or having a black quarterback from day one in camp, but the Giants are getting some of that too. I mean, like as little as I care for that stuff. But all jokes aside, Malik Willis is nasty. I mean, as far as the comparable quarterbacks, athletic that could somewhat throw, um, Malik Willis is up there with any attribute like of any of these athletic quarterbacks, a la Lamar Jackson. Like, could Malik Willis run like Lamar Jackson? Not as good, but he's right there. Does Malik Willis have a better arm than Lamar Jackson? Yes, he does. Even though it's not that, that's not saying much. But Malik Willis doesn't have a bad arm, and he could. Malik Willis has a great arm. His accuracy might not be there, but he has a greater arm than Lamar Jackson. His athletic ability is right up there with Lamar Jackson. Um, so that's the pick for me. Now here, I was thinking of trading some of the capital away, like here, like the Vikings have offered a 12th pick and a 46th pick, which I probably would do. The only player I wouldn't do it for, I mean, is Akeem Ekwonu from North Carolina State. He's there, yes, and we do need a tackle, yes, but Akeem Ekwonu has played his best days at guard. Has played really good tackle. I like the way like he's like he's a little bit more of a dog at guard, and it seemed like he was trying to pick up, like you ain't really gonna show your ass like when you're gonna try to pick up a new position, like i.e. moving from guard to tackle. And he didn't do that so much when he was at tackle, but he still played a really good tackle. Now, fuck it. Like I'm gonna trade the pick away though. I mean, we do need a tackle, but I think we get a lot of good collateral. The Giants don't have a lot of premier picks except up here. So I'm going to take some of that. I mean, it's not terrible, like to get a 12 pick and a 46 pick. The guys, I mean, it sucks like letting Ahmad Gardner and Akeem Ekwonu slip. But I'm going to try to make this draft now that I do have my quarterback to try to protect that quarterback, 1. But 2, try to get as many weapons for both the quarterback and the defense. And who knows, maybe Ekwonu slips, though I don't think he will. But I'm going to take this pick. I'm going to take this trade. The Vikings took Gardner. Jermaine Johnson's off the board. I do want to look for a pass rusher too. And as you guys could see, Karlaftis is gone at number 10. I wish I knew how to fucking close this window. I actually do know how to do it, but it's lost on me right now. Yeah, I don't know how to do this shit. But I do have a couple offers here. Like I have the Bengals offering, I mean the Chargers offering a second round pick for next year, a third round pick for next year, and a 17th pick this year. Not that bad. Also in this draft, I'm gonna try not to trade away anything for 2023. And I'm also gonna try not to accept anything for 2023. None of these trades here really are really hitting like that. And Aquanu is still on the board. Again, I don't see this happening, but I would take Charles Cross here if he is the tackle that falls off the board. Although I don't see Akeem Aquanu or Charles Cross making it this far, but I'm going to take Akeem Aquanu because he is here. Now, again, this stuff could happen because when you fuck around on the board early on, like, and you put a Trayvon Walker, a pick that wasn't expected to be there. Garrett Wilson is being pushed up the board. Um, not unfairly or fairly, but Garrett Wilson wasn't expected to be a top 10 pick early on. And again, I took a quarterback that a lot of people weren't anticipating going this high, in Malik Willis. So things like that do happen on the board. Like as you guys could tell, like a lot of the good pass rushers, Jermaine Johnson and Karlaftis are now off the board. So I'm only saying that to say this, that Akeem Aquanu could fall this far, and that's to my benefit. So I mean, maybe I did fuck up the board early on, but it ended up benefiting me. And these things do happen in drafts. So Akeem Aquanu at number 12, and I think if the Giants had such good luck and the board did play out this way, they would piss themselves. A lot of these mock drafts that I do, and granted, this isn't the only mock draft site that I use. I use other ones. But a lot of the mock drafts that I do use have Tyler Linderbaum falling. It is very tempting for me to make a trade up here. But if he falls any farther, like to the somebody bagged him. The Titans ended up bagging him. But I do see a lot of premier wide receivers dipping in the first round. In the past, like man, this thing's a bitch, bro. I can't scroll up. There we go. But like Treylon Burks, a lot of people have him falling like to the latter portion of the draft. I don't know why. And I hear a lot of people like kind of shitting on him, like the fact that he ran like a 4.4, 4.5 at the combine didn't really help. Drake Jackson, a lot of people have a hard on for now. I wish one of these guys would have fell my way, and I probably would have traded back into the first round. But the thing is that I would wait on like either for the chance of the only way I trade back into the first round if I were the Giants GM is if both Drake London and Treylon Burks or another good receiver like Jameson Williams or Olave are both here past 24. If there's two good receivers past 24, then I'm gonna try to trade up and take one. But that didn't happen here because Drake London lasted past 24. So the Chiefs cock blocked me and took Treylon Burks at 29. No biggie though. I mean, I still got my collateral. I could still look for a lineman at this stage. Now, I'm in a bit of a conundrum here because Zion Johnson has also dropped magically. Kenyon Green and Zion Johnson. I do like Zion Johnson a little bit more. I also like Lewis Sign, Georgia, the safety. It's very tempting to go either way. I mean, we do have a tremendous safety already on the Giants, and it wouldn't be bad. He's more of a free safety, and Lewis Sign is more of a really athletic in the box safety. My temptation right here is to either take Zion Johnson, Lewis Sign. Let me see what we have in terms of edge rusher because the Giants, it wouldn't kill them to have an edge rusher. Boya Mafe, a lot of guys are dick riding him. I don't know why. I think I have him like a late second round pick, maybe third round pick. I don't see why so many people are so high on him. His tape is just not there. Drake Jackson, I think he would be. I think he's a little bit better than Sam Williams, but I think Sam Williams and Cameron Thomas would fit better on the Giants. I also think Majai Sanders as a second edge rusher would be really good on any team. So I have my eye on that. Should I take a lineman here? I think I'm going to do that because the value of taking a Zion Johnson at guard from Boston College is too valuable here. Plus, the Giants need 2 guards at the moment. The Giants need a total of 4 linemen. So why not protect the quarterback of the future? I take Zion Johnson here. Call it a day. See what else we have. Lewis Sign is off the board, off the rip. Trey McBride, tight end that I like, is off the board. One thing, guys, I think that Isaiah Likely might be a better tight end than Trey McBride. I think Trey McBride has a little bit of the white hype factor on it, but the thing is that Isaiah Likely played in a way better team and way worse competition than what Trey McBride plays in. But they both play very similar. I think Isaiah Likely has a little bit more of a big play capability than Trey McBride does, but they both block really well, exceptionally well. And they're both big time targets, so it's a tough one. But look, the Patriots have a nice offer here for me for the 54th and 85th pick. I'm gonna go ahead and take that. I mean, there's still a lot of good pass rushers here. I addressed 2 holes at line already, so I could just take a flyer and maybe hope that one of the pass rushers that I do like drops here. And the pass rusher that I did like did drop here, and that's Sam Williams. And I'm going to take him. Sam Williams, a little horse, and to add him with Ojulari, I think that would be a pretty beast. The one thing I probably would have been tempted of taking Cameron. I would have been tempted on taking. I'm gonna reject all these draft trades anyway. They were whack anyway. But at that pick, I would have been tempted at taking Majai Sanders. Because Majai Sanders plays really long, and a lot of times when you have a horse edge rusher on one side, to have that long guy that could play cleanup is never a bad idea. But Ojulari, I don't think would be a really good mix because he does have that athleticism, that length that I like. Ojulari, and he played that way last year. So I added the little horse in Williams, like the guy who's kind of like plays more of a just straight up bull rush kind of guy, like just a pain in the ass to block, like a real like strong package, like in Sam Williams that I like better for the Giants. Now, is Cameron Thomas a better edge rusher than Sam Williams? Possibly. The fact that he got hurt at the combine scared me a little bit, so that's why I went with Sam Williams here. Now, in this pick, we have 2 picks that are tempting. We have George Pickens, the wide receiver of Georgia, who's getting a lot of buzz late into the process. I like George Pickens. I think they may give like his height. George, he's 6'3", yeah, that's what I thought. But I have the ability to take a big receiver, which the Giants need. Or I have the ability of taking a gamble and taking John Mechie III, who probably would have been the best receiver in the draft had he not been injured. Whereas Pickens, again, he played with a really, really strong team, as did John Mechie III, but who looked better while playing amongst really strong peers in the wide receiver group. Alabama had a really beast mode wide receiver group. Georgia, not so much, but did George Pickens look like, wow, like this guy is like really lighting it up for Georgia and he's the reason that they're winning? I didn't think so. Even though like his tape always looks good, but that's not like his games. No, his highlights look really good. His games, there's not really many games that I saw like George Pickens take over. But John Mechie, again, I'm getting a really good value at the third round here, so I'm gonna go with him. Um, I don't think George Pickens is gonna last. David Bell was one of the guys that I did want. Um, you know what? I'm actually gonna try to trade up here. Um, see if I could bag George Pickens because the Giants are in desperate need of a big wide receiver. We haven't had one in a while. I'm gonna give them my 172nd and my 173rd and my 182nd. See if they go for that. They probably won't, but they did. Lo and behold, I'm taking George Pickens, wide receiver out of Georgia. I like the size. I just think that he's a little bit of a crapshoot, as is John Mechie the third. But one of them could work out. Worst case scenario. I mean, and we have needs at both spot, and it's good to give our boy Malik Willis some pieces to play with. Pause. I'm not gonna look at that trade there because it's not my steez. But lo and behold, look who I was talking about. You have my boy Isaiah Likely lasting here to the third round. I think that is a possibility. What else do we have here? We have Nicholas Petit Ferrer, who I don't know how to say his name, but I have a feeling. I mean, I wouldn't be pissed at taking Nicholas Petit Ferrer as a swing tackle because Andrew Thomas has been hurt, and Petit Ferrer, however you say his name, is really good. And I think that Nicholas Petit Ferrer, I don't know, let me see, they have him at 6'5". Doesn't look 6'5". He does look 316, a little on the smaller side. But I think that he could play guard, so it's very tempting, but I'm not gonna screw around. Let me see what's the defensive tackles that are here. Matthew Butler, I actually do like him, but not for me here. Linebackers, I mean, we're in desperate need of linebackers. I wouldn't mind drafting a bunch of linebackers either, but the linebacker class got a little screwed up with Damon Clark. So I could live with my defense kind of stinking a little bit next year, even though our defense wasn't bad last year. And I'm going to take Isaiah Likely as my tight end here. Look, Matthew Butler goes next. Matthew Butler is a problem. I think he's a little bit better suited to play 4-3. I'm sorry. Actually, I don't know. But I think he played both really well in 4-3 and 3-4, Matthew Butler. And he's actually one of the guys that I'm starting to dig in this draft class. Now, I'm looking at some of the people that are still on the board. Jake Ferguson, I would have been tempted to take him because Jake Ferguson might be the best blocking tight end in this draft class, but he's off the board here. Now, do I go with a reclamation project in Damon Clark? I think he's going to be out for the entirety of next year. That is tempting. I look at some of these guys that have been injured, like Jack from Jacksonville when they drafted him, linebacker, or that other kid that the Cowboys took the same year that Jack went into the class. Both linebackers that had injury concerns. In fact, the Cowboys guy was going to be out the whole year. So their value did go into the second round. Now, you have the same case with Damon Clark. I think he's going to be out for the entirety of next year. Now, do I take that risk here? Let me see what else we have, though. I could help my guy out as far as the line goes. And I think I'm going to do that because Cole Strange did drop here, and I like Cole Strange. I think he's a little overrated, but he's not bad. I just want to see what else is here. Jeffrey Gunter is a edge rusher I like a lot. But I already addressed edge rusher. Shannon Tindall is a linebacker I like a lot. And the Giants do need a linebacker, but I don't see him as a system fit. He's more of a edge rushing linebacker. Mario Goodrich, the cornerback from Clemson's here. I like him a lot too. I don't see Tariq Castro Fields lasting this long. I don't see Michael Wright lasting this long. I do see Mario Goodrich lasting this long, and we should be drafting cornerbacks. But I rather take a bunch of shots at the line, and if something pans out, or if these guys don't pan out, then I know what I got to look for next year. So let me take Cole Strange here at the 4th round, whatever this is. Let me see what other picks I have. See if I got to move up the draft board. Damon Pierce is a nasty little running back out of Florida. I'm starting to like him a lot. This might be my last pick. Let me just make sure. So yeah, this is my last pick. So I'm gonna hold out, see what's up. I don't want to I don't want to trade any collateral from next year. I do that with most of my mock drafts. Damon Clark is off. Damon Clark is off the board. So this last pick is going to be a crapshoot. Like, as I'm just going to look at, the best available guy. One might be dropping here. I was looking at the side of the board to make sure this guy did drop, and that's Rasheed Walker out of Penn State. Guys, I know, like, Rasheed Walker, honestly, is a first-round talent. And I early on, I had a lot of draft nicks saying that he was a first-round talent. I'm just trying to look what else is here. D'Angelo Malone of Western Kentucky, I like him a lot. But I already have my edge rusher covered. Linebacker, again, the Giants that need linebacker like no other. Kobe McLean is good, but he's not better than Rasheed Walker. Michael Wright would be very tempting here again, but I'm looking in the interest of if one of my tackles does fall to the wayside, who do I put to replace him? Given that Andrew Thomas has an injury history. Another thing is that if, God forbid, the Akeem Ekwonu doesn't pan out, maybe we could rotate down the line a Rasheed Walker. Now, Rasheed Walker doesn't have that ability to play guard, I think, but who gives a shit? Like, I mean, he's still nasty, and the Giants suck at line. I wouldn't mind taking all these people, taking linemen with every one of these picks. So look what I did. I mean, I don't have any draft picks left, so I'm going to show you what you paid for. But this is my draft. I took Malik Willis at number 5, Akeem Ekwonu at number 12, which I traded down for. I traded with the Vikings, which they took Ahmad Gardner, and I was able to bag another second-round pick. I'm with it. I took Sam Williams, the Dynamo from Mississippi. He's nasty. Zion Johnson at guard. He was there in the second round, and I was able to bag him. I ended up trading back here with the 46th pick, and they gave me the 54th and 85th pick. I don't think that would happen in real life. Like, that's too much to give up. They took Kenneth Walker. I took Sam Williams by moving back. I was able to wait until the 3rd round, and I took John Mechie the 3rd. I don't think he stays past the 2nd round. But my misfortune, I mean, their misfortune is my gain. I took George Pickens here, wide receiver out of Georgia. Why is this shit not scrolling up now? Oh, here we go. I took George Pickens, the wide receiver out of Georgia. So I gave Malik Willis 2 nice weapons to play with. And I did get him some more protection here in the whatever round. I think this is the 4th round. Cole Strange lasted this long. A little bit of a reach because I like Dyer Mumford too. I think they're both similar. But Cole Strange has a little bit more grit. And Dyer Mumford, I thought he was going to play a little bit better this year. He really didn't. So I took Cole Strange here. Rasheed Walker, he's nasty, bro. Come on. So I got 2 guards and 2 tackles. I mean, do we need 2 tackles? No. Do we need 2 guards? Absolutely. But we need as much help as we get on this line. And if our tackles do happen to fall, Rasheed Walker can step right in. I think this is a great draft. Gets us away from the Daniel Jones era and gives us some dynamic weapons. I mean, yeah, granted, I wasn't able to draft a linebacker, but I had to do that early on, and I didn't. But it was either linebacker or lineman for me. Like I mean, like I got to bag 4 linemen, which is just as big of a need, if not bigger need than linebacker. It is a bigger need than linebacker for the New York Giants. So let me know what you guys think. Um, the Giants are in salary cap hell. None of these picks I'm making here are with the anticipation that the Giants are going to be good next year. Oh, good looking out, Mike Biggs for coming through. Yeah, the thing we do need another quarterback. Daniel Jones is a scrub. Daniel Jones is a big time scrub. I've been saying that. I didn't want to draft him the year that we did draft him. I think he gets a big time pass because he's a nice guy. But I give a shit whether he's a nice guy or not. Malik Willis might be even better than Lamar Jackson. Again, like one thing too, like I'm not gonna front, bro. Like I'm a superficial person with these things sometimes. Sometimes like I don't like cause I've been begging for the Giants to draft I was begging for the Giants to draft Lamar Jackson when he came out. Like Lamar Jackson played really bad in his bowl game that year. I remember I was in Boston that day and I was freezing my ass off. But I wanted the Giants to draft Lamar Jackson. I was crying in my hotel room damn near when Lamar Jackson played bad in his bowl game because I knew that was going to kill the Giants' chances at drafting him. But now we have a chance to redeem ourselves. But one thing I don't like, and it's kind of like something that Lamar Jackson was doing when he was in the process, and it's kind of something that Malik Willis is doing when he was taking part in his pro days and in the combine, where like I like the brother quarterbacks to just be more like stern because like these assholes are gonna play him, and I think the Giants like they haven't drafted a brother like as far as the quarterbacks go in a minute, but I almost like want like the perfect guy like in a sense so that the Giants don't have a reason not to draft him because Malik Willis is the truth. He's gonna be really good. So that was kind of like one of the things I had in mind when I did this mock draft. Also, our line sucks. How do we have a bad offensive line for a decade? We've never had 2 good players on our offensive lines for a decade. Let that sink in. I mean, and you got to like really think that a lot of times, many years, that the Giants had 0 premier players on offensive line for a fucking decade. So the fact that if the Giants go into this year and draft 5 linemen, I wouldn't be opposed to it, honestly. Even if 2 or 3 of those guys were tackles, and even though I think Thomas is a great left tackle, I think he's a really good left tackle. But the Giants got to get it right at line. I don't care if they take 5 picks at linemen and strike out. So long as you're addressing the shit. Like right now, we don't have the money to address the situation at line. So why not go into this draft and just strike out if you have to? But Malik Willis falling to have a Malik Willis level quarterback and the league isn't really talking about him like that. Like that's just an opportunity for the Giants to take advantage of a league that's sleeping on Malik Willis. Malik Willis is really good. And I'm going to put the thumbnail of this video as Kenny Pickett because I would have taken Kenny Pickett as well. I wouldn't take Kenny Pickett at 5 or 7, but I would trade back and take Kenny Pickett like maybe at 12. But that's not the question here. The bigger thing is taking Malik Willis. If the Giants take Malik Willis, and they can't like wait till 7 to take Malik Willis because the Panthers going to scoop him up. But if the Giants take Malik Willis, fuck around and we might be near competing in 2024. Like once we really unfuck our salary cap situation, and Daniel Jones not a bad guy, but he sucks as a quarterback. And the New York media is like allergic to talking bad about Daniel Jones. So now we get that problem off of our hair, and we have a really explosive guy sitting behind Daniel Jones. Do you want to start Malik Willis next year? I don't like the tactic of teams drafting quarterbacks to sit him. I think that's whack. But if you want to do that this year, fuck it. I don't care. And you got him sitting behind Daniel Jones, then let's really test how nice of a guy Daniel Jones is when he has his heir apparent sitting on the bench. Let's see how much Daniel Jones cools him up. Now, I'm not saying that to spite Daniel Jones. I don't think he's a piece of shit. I just think he's a piece of shit quarterback. Maybe he is a nice guy, but I'm not looking for a nice guy. I need a stone cold killer. And Malik Willis does have that athletic ability to really rock this league. And a lot of these athletic quarterbacks have that same thing where you had I forgot that bum-ass quarterback from the 49ers. He had a Spanish last name. Might have been Rodriguez. But where he was known to be like a check down Charlie. Like a lot of people used to call him check down Charlie. Now, Eli Manning was an ill check down quarterback too. But with some of these athletic quarterbacks, not only do they have the ability to check down and pass it to the guy who's to a running back doing a fake draw play, but they have the ability to go up the field and burn you for 40 yards with their legs. I mean, I don't give a shit. I mean, like if you want to really criticize how some of these brothers or these black quarterbacks throw, which I think it's unwarranted because you got Trubisky in the league still. He sucks. He can't throw. You got Derek Carr is not like the most accurate at times. I mean, Derek Carr is like really good. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys, like Willis's accuracy is probably it's in the top half of the league right now, I think. But could half of the league throw better than Willis? Absolutely not. You have probably like 10 quarterbacks that could throw better or deeper balls than what Willis does. Now, how many quarterbacks could have the athletic ability of Malik Willis? Not many. There's not many in the league right now. Probably like 4 that may have better athletic ability than Malik Willis. Now, one thing I am going to say that concerns me about Malik Willis, in his pro day, this dude's built. He is built. He has big ass thighs, like fucking big core, big upper body. Like, I mean, the upper body doesn't mean shit to me. The one thing that concerns me is the fact that he has small ass ankles. So that's foot injuries and leg injuries waiting to happen. That is a concern for me. He was hampered a little bit in college with injury, and he did play against a lot of scrubs in college. Liberty doesn't play like anybody of worth. I mean, I think they played Mississippi, but not that big of a concern for me. Like Liberty's line sucked, so the Giants' lines also suck. So he'll be right at home in that regard. Liberty's weapons, I mean, they really didn't have any like good receivers. Even in his pro day, those receivers were dropping the ball. So, you're gonna have better receiving options to throw to here in New York than he did in Liberty in Virginia. I think Liberty's in Virginia. But that's it for me. I hope the Giants do the draft in the old foul play skis format because our drafts suck. The Giants suck, guys. Like New York YouTube channels, man, or the New York media is very forgiving of the moves that the Giants have made. I mean, the Giants are in a way more hellish scenario um, for the future than the Jets are, and the Jets suck too. I mean, I love both teams, but I don't know why they get such a big pass. YouTube Giant channels is basically YouTube Giant lubricating their dicks channels. Like, guys are allergic to talking bad about the Giants, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, I love this team, but shit, like this team sucks, and it sucked for a decade, and you guys ain't helping. I mean, like by not being critical of the team. Um, but let me know what you guys think. Hopefully, you guys found my draft enjoyable. With that, I'm out. Peace.